2018 Mercedes-Benz S-Class Review. The good points of Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Indulgent degrees of luxury. Crammed with technology. Diesel's raw world efficiency. Crushing performance of AMGs. The bad points of Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Restricted range from which to choose. Options are certainly expensive. Lacks rivals exclusivity. Ubiquity might count against it. Although various pretenders for the best luxury saloon crown have fallen and gone above the decades, it's the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon that is still the best in their segment. For the German mark, it's a showcase for the technological brilliance, bristling wonderful manner of driver aids, safety equipment, whilst not forgetting its role of pampering its occupants. That's a mantra that's as true of the primary S-Class, as it's of the current model, which in fact had yet more technosurgery heaped upon it during its midlife facelift in 2017. Despite what the sales figures suggest, the Mercedes doesn't get it all its own way. You can find excellent alternatives from the forums from the Audi A8, Bentley Flying Spur, BMW 7 Series, Jaguar XJ, Lexus LS and, in the upper reaches in this class's price list, the Rolls-Royce Ghost. Naturally, in the event you fancy the luxury on the flagship Mercedes without resorting to rear doors, then there's always the four-seater S-Class Coupe, joined for the primary time on this generation from the soft-top S-Class Cabriolet. Cutting-edge S-Class technology. Futuristic technology employed inside the new Mercedes S-Class includes the option for magic body control suspension that constantly adjusts itself, which are more comfortable ride possible by subtracting data from cameras scanning the trail ahead, mapping out patches of rough tarmac and adjusting the dampers accordingly. Additionally, the curve function allows this S-Class to lean into bends during higher speed cornering, lending the Mercedes an agility that belies its size. While autonomous self-driving technology isn't quite here yet, this S-Class pushes the boundaries with their legal limit, self-steering for approximately 15 seconds during a period. Mercedes also used the 2017 S-Class facelift to boost the adaptive cruise control system, which not simply monitors the speeds with the vehicles before with multiple cameras and sensors, but additionally links using the sedan's GPS data. You may anticipate speeds, slowing you down for sharper bends and junctions. Of course, parking an auto as large as an S-Class may be troublesome, in spite of sensors inside the bumpers along with a 360-degree camera system. That's the place that the remote parking function comes in handy, meaning you don't even need to be inside car as it's parked. Mild midlife refresh in 2017. No sheet metal changes were introduced together with 2017's facelift, with alterations on the new graphics for your LED lights back and front, revised grills, still the regular Mercedes type which has a three-pointed star mascot number 1, and different bumpers. Interior modifications are equally modest, probably the biggest news being which the brand ditched its familiar steering column-mounted cruise control stock and is overtaken by touch-sensitive controls for the steering wheel. Some new straight 6 and V8 engines made their debuts. Nevertheless, the refresh also signaled a thinning out from the S-Classes wanted to British buyers. Limited S-Class engine range in Britain. Standard Mercedes-Benz S-Classes. If a real luxurious car could ever be identified as standard, obviously, can be found in S350D and S500 guises or both six-cylinder engines, with merely the diesel offered in a nutshell wheelbase form. Mercedes expects around 90% of buyers to plump to the diesel. Performance-focused Mercedes-AMG models can be found in S63 V8, 4.0-liter, 612 horsepower and S65 V12, 6.0-liter, 630 horsepower guises, both requiring just 4.3 seconds with the 062 mph acceleration benchmark. Topping kids, through an even longer body to allow for rear seat passengers a lot more room to luxuriate, could be the Mercedes-Maybach accessible in S650 specification, featuring a similar V12 engine because the S65. Although it disappeared for the time in the facelift, the plug-in hybrid S500e version is predicted to return by 2018, but all-wheel drive 4MATIC models will continue to become unavailable within the UK. The verdict. Such greatness doesn't come cheaply, although that can hardly become a surprise in the event you're contemplating buying a Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon. Prices start north of £70,000 for that S350d AMG line, closing in on £200,000 for the upper echelons in the range. And that's prior to starting adding through the vast variety of optional extras. Most buyers will see the diesel-sipping S350d suits their demands ably without getting crushingly harmful for run, although you can appreciate the allure when your budget stretches towards the V8 or V12 engined version. Watch on for additional information about the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon. Diesel S350d is the reason bulk of sales. All S-Classes are rapid, even non-AMGs. Plug-in hybrids set another by 2018. Other countries get yourself a much wider choice of power plants as opposed to restricted choice of Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon engines offered inside UK. But don't worry, the slowest model still cracks the 062 mph standard within 7 seconds. Popular Mercedes-Benz S-Class diesel lineup. 9 away from 10 S-Class buyers in Britain are hoped for to go for your S350d, really the only diesel engine accessible in Britain, meaning we miss out about the even more powerful S400d. Not to stress, for the reason that 6-cylinder 2.9-liter unit produces 286 horsepower at 3,400 revolutions per minute and also a rich 600 Nm seam of torque from just 1,200 revolutions per minute. Mated to your brand new 9-speed automatic transmission, the S350d is relaxed and flexible, seemingly competent to surge forwards with every depression on the throttle regardless with the current road speed. Like every S-Class, the superior speed is electronically governed to 155 mph, as the 062 mph time takes just 6.0 seconds with the shorter wheelbase model and 6.8 seconds for your longer one. Restricted Mercedes-Benz S-Class petrol range. It's an identical story when you fancy a petrol engine S-Class, because the S500 is the best sole choice. Forget the numbering system here as there's no 5.0-liter V8 beneath the bonnet like Mercs of old. Currently you'll get a turbocharged 6-cylinder 3.0-liter instead. It's particularly advanced, having an integrated starter generator, as opposed to a more conventional alternator. Recovered electricity is trapped in a lithium-ion battery power, allowing the 48-volt electrical system to be utilized efficiently, running the aircon as the engine's put off, and boosting the turbocharger to relieve lag. There's 435 horsepower on tap from 5,900 revolutions per minute, with peak torque of 520 Nm at 1,800 revolutions per minute. Power is sent for the rear wheels via precisely the same 9-speed automatic transmission, producing a 062 mph use of 4.8 seconds. Performance-focused Mercedes-AMG S-Class. Swing open the Mercedes-AMG S63's bonnet capture citing the new V8 4.0-liter turbocharged engine, replacing the last 5.5-liter motor. It sounds enticing as it's revved harder, creating a roaring 612 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute along with a mighty 900 Nm of torque from 2,750 revolutions per minute. There's an upgraded version on the 9-speed automatic, fueled by AMG, causing a 0.62 miles per hour use of 4.3 seconds. Offering a similar performance benchmark but having an altogether different feel to your driving experience could be the Mercedes-AMG S65. Lurking to use engine bay is often a turbocharged V12 engine using a 6.0-liter capacity, proper limousine size, yet in the large sports saloon. It'll produce 630 horsepower from 4,800 revolutions per minute, while peak torque is rated in a colossal 1,000 Nm from just 2,300. 1-gear ratio may possibly suffice, but within the interests of easy use and efficiency there's a 7-speed automatic fitted. Flagship Mercedes Maybach performance. Powering the Maybach S650 would be the same V12 that AMG S65 buyers enjoy, producing exactly the same 630 horsepower and 1,000 Nm of power and torque, respectively. Ever so slightly blunting performance will be the Maybach's extra 110 kg of heft and 160 mm of length, meaning the otherwise mechanically identical limousine requires another 0.4 of any second to succeed in 62 miles per hour coming from a standstill at 4.7 seconds. Air suspension allows this class being comfy, but also benefits its handling prowess, too. AMG's proved limos are prepared for like sports saloons. Mercedes-Benz is keen to point out which the electric steering system within this generation of S-Class saloon actually supplies a tangible advantage to customers, letting them fine-tune the helm for feel, in any other case feedback, and you'll instantly notice it's weightier versus the previous car. It's still about the light side in comparison with smaller, sportier cars certainly. Even so, the well-judged higher-level assistance encourages one to take advantage with the car's surprising agility these days before. While this class's ride also feels fractionally firmer than before, the payoff is just as expected, it's much sharper to push. All versions have Airmatic adaptive suspension as standard, plus Sport and Sport Plus modes. This class remains impressively flat, even without the optional curve system that leans the Mercedes into bends at speed. While its predecessor always felt such as a large limousine lumbering around bends, this generation's class feels a great deal more convincing at speed on challenging stretches of broad. By far one of the most impressive system could be the Magic Body Control, which optimizes the vehicle's reactions on your inputs. Around quick and tight bends, this class will continue to be flat and composed almost in spite of your input, with plenty grip across each axle. It also monitors the conditions with the road surface ahead to adapt the compliance with the suspension accordingly. Should the physical conditions outside be a little more extreme, the crosswind assist function battles against strong gusts lapping the sides and the Mercedes, keeping it pointing from the correct direction with minimal effort from your driver. Despite this class remains imperiously comfortable when we cover later inside review. Mercedes-AMG S-Class, the sports limousine. Considering the sheer dimensions of these classes, it's almost spooky how well Mercedes-AMG has caused it to serve a corner. It's beautifully balanced and body roll is kept completely under control. Magic Body Control makes sure that with constantly adjusted suspension settings this class will take undulations or bumps under consideration and ensure your vehicle is watchy for whatever the trail throws advertising online. The net effect in this is deeply impressive. No matter should you're in softer comfort or even more taut Sport and Sport Plus modes, the S63 handles well, fooling you into thinking you're driving something far smaller. There's lots of safety systems installed to hold you on the trail and pointing from the right direction, but if you ever feel particularly brave, you'll be able to turn all of the off. What you're then left with is usually a seriously tail-uppy machine which won't neglect to make you smile, should you like that sort of thing. Again, it belies its bulk more than anything with this size has any to. If the vehicle does set out to slide, it's progressive as well as simple to control. In this aspect it feels very sporty indeed, a real AMG machine, although using a level of finesse earlier, more brutal models lacked. Imperious quality of build and materials. Some finishes won't suit all tastes. Effortless cost-setting and to use. Those dual 12.3-inch dashboard screens from the Mercedes-Benz S-Class serve a dual purpose. First and foremost, they display a huge selection of data about how the vehicle's performing, what you're enjoying and where you're going. But beyond that, they're a slightly showy reminder of how high-tech this generation of S-Class actually is. Somehow a couple of analog, physical dials, however classy we were holding, just wouldn't feel right. The dashboard arrangement won't be alien for the majority of recent Mercedes-Benz drivers. In truth, the contemporary class's interior is similar, or even as opulent. There's a choice of options in terms of seats, dashboard coverings and design details, but all with the materials used feel of particular premium quality. Whether you get the finishes and color schemes classy or chintzy will be considered a matter of personal taste. You can personalize your S-Class's cabin a little more forward with Mercedes' Designation service, although a real degree of modification can come at a significant price. Like on other Mercedes, all on the main functions are operated with the command center controller for the center console, and it also doesn't require much time to work out how the technique is navigated. There's virtually no time required to get comfortable either, the electric adjustment for the seats and leader ensuring any driver can discover their perfect position. Anything to grumble about? We're nitpicking largely. However, the interior door handles are mounted rather low around the door, and that we found our hands naturally reaching for your seat controls for the top with the door card instead. Perhaps higher was the dropping from the steering column mounted cruise control stalk as part from the 2017 facelift. A Mercedes mainstay for more than 4 decades, newer S-Classes have their own cruise control because of the pads about the steering wheel instead. One in the most comfortable cars for sale. Magic body control takes it to an alternative level. Passengers feel truly cosseted. Comfort, that's just what a luxury limousine such as being the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon needs to be all about, and it also doesn't disappoint. With the S-Class it plays in many ways, not least rolling around in its ride quality. Yes, this generation of S-Class feels fractionally firmer than its predecessor, but it's still certainly one on the smoothest riding cars you may buy. Should you seek perfection though, then have no fear, Mercedes gets the answer. Opt with the Magic Body Control System, plus the Mercedes becomes more compliant and level, eerily so. Mercedes started the growth process 8 years before this generation's S-Class's launch in 2013. Also, it's the vehicle's standout feature. Using cameras to watch the trail ahead, it prepares every individual wheel and suspension assembly for any forthcoming surface imperfection. The result will be the body stays remarkably flat because the damper takes any risk of strain, along with the S-Class effectively steps over anything to use way. Speed bumps that will normally have to have a crawl to traverse disappear at speeds of about 25 miles per hour, as well as the system will work its magic on less extreme changes within the tarmac beyond the UK legal limit. It's slightly otherworldly and also far one on the most exciting automotive developments we've ever experienced. All on the seats are happy, but it's the rearmost pair from the long wheelbase and Maybach models that impress probably the most. With the executive seat option, the spine bench can recline by around 43.5 degrees, one of the most of any car inside the sector, and combined with all the adjustable under-thigh support, super soft headrest cushions and front passenger seat that slides neatly forwards while revealing its heel support platform, it proves convenient than a modern high-grade airline seat. Like the leading seats, the rears provide a choice of massage settings including 2 new hot tone functions which can be incredibly relaxing. The seats are optionally cool too, while there's even ability to heat the armrests as well since the seats themselves. As part on the S-Class range rationalization for the point in the 2017 facelift, say line specification disappeared, leaving merely the sportier AMG line for your mainstream range. This is supplemented with the Mercedes-AMG fully blown sports models plus the uber-luxurious Mercedes-Maybach S650 with the pinnacle on the range. Standard Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon equipment. For a variety with few model choices, the S-Class range is potentially confusing, with AMG line being the entry-level trim for Mercedes-Benz S-Classes. As standard, these versions include 19-inch AMG design alloy wheels, AMG body kit, keyless entry and starting, automatic parking function, adaptive automatic windscreen wipers, multi-beam automatic LED headlamps, metallic paint, electrically adjustable front seats with memory function, 3-spoke multi-function tire with touch control pads, 64-color ambient lighting, dual 12.3-inch screens, Command Online multimedia system, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility, wireless smartphone charging. Progressing to your sportier Mercedes-AMG S63 adds 20-inch 10-spoke AMG alloy wheels, a more aggressive AMG body kit with AMG-specific grille, Napa leather upholstery with sports seats and sports leader, Burmester multi-channel surround sound system, illuminated AMG door sills. In addition to your larger V12 engine, the Mercedes-AMG S65 also features 20-inch multi-spoke AMG alloys, chrome detailing with the AMG body kit, black Napa leather headlining, Burmester high-end 3D multi-channel system, head-up display, executive equipment package. Flagship from the lineup may be the Mercedes-Maybach S650 by having an even longer wheelbase. Additional features over lesser S-Classes include Magic Body Control which preempts imperfections inside road surface, Magic Sky Control opacity settings for panoramic glass roof, privacy glass to the rear doors and back screen, 20-inch Maybach-specific alloy wheels, heated and cooled electrically adjustable seats front and back with massage function, quilted leather finish to door panels and dashboard, Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon, optional extras, as well as a large choice of potential individual options to further personalize the specification of your respective S-Class. Mercedes supplies a variety of equipment bundles offering better value for cash. AMG line premium package adds a 360-degree camera, soft closing doors and boot lid, heated and cooled front seats, soft Napa leather upholstery, electrically opening panoramic roof, Choosing the AMG Line Premium Plus package bolsters the aforementioned extras with cross-linked comfort systems for the more relaxed driving and passenger experience. Air balance package with 4 fragrance generators. Burmester multi-channel surround sound systems with 13 speakers and 590 watts of output. Active multi-control front seats with dynamic and massage functions. Available separately or coupled with either on the premium packs may be the executive equipment line. On all AMG line and S63 models, it's standard about the S65 and unavailable about the Mercedes-Maybach version. Electrically adjustable outer rear seats with back functions. Luxury rear head restraints with additional comfort cushion. Electric blinds to the rear screen and back door windows. Additional climate control settings for your rear. Exclusively available for the Mercedes-Maybach may be the first-class cabin package. This ultra-luxurious bundle brings a set of silver-plated champagne flutes, extended center console between individual rear seats with fold-out tables, a fridge located behind a corner center armrest, not crash-tested by Euro NCAP, still one from the safest cars discounted, some in the most advanced tech available. Given made its market debut in 2013, and yes, it's still not been crash-tested from the safety experts at Euro NCAP, it's unlikely the Mercedes-Benz S-Class will probably be subjected to your program now. But, given Mercedes' good reputation for safety with both passive and active systems, it's unlikely this class would achieve anything less compared to a resounding 5-star score. Not that drivers should take it like a challenge, but because of the raft of preventative systems agreeable, it could prove tricky to have an accident in a S-Class in the very first place. That's mainly as a result of what Mercedes terms intelligent drive, which builds upon and furthers the technology noticed in Pre-Safe and Distronic Plus in the previous generation's class. The former has experienced its parameters extended, and also the Pre-Safe brake can halt the auto from speeds of approximately 31 miles per hour whether it detects a pedestrian or stationary and slow-moving traffic in the front. Should you be sat stationary is likely to S-Class, cameras monitor cars approaching from behind and rapidly flash the hazard lights as long as they detect any collision in order to alert the driver on the other car on your presence. If the motive force fails to react, the Mercedes may also tighten seat belts and firmly apply the brakes in order to guard against secondary impact and then any occupant injury. Wide assortment of S-Class safety systems. Even the seat belts are intelligent, pulling occupants away in the direction of impact to be able to lessen the effects with the accident. There are optional airbags within the rear belts too, inflating to assist lessen the stress placed for the ribcage inside a collision, while cushions within the rear seat base ensure occupants making use on the car's leaf-flat seats can't slip underneath the belt while inside same situation. The car's intelligent drive product is exactly that, utilizing a series of sensors to generate up an entire 360-degree vision. Distronic Plus can follow vehicles in front at low speed for autonomous driving and may also keep you inside correct lane. Should you stray above the line towards oncoming traffic, active lane keeping assist will brake individual wheels to tug you back across for the correct side. Also optional is Night View Assist Plus, which relies on a thermal imaging camera to alert the motive force to any stray pedestrians or animals in poorly lit conditions, employing a high-definition screen between your main instruments, and can flash the LED headlights in the car to draw both their plus the driver's attention. There's also Attention Assist to monitor driver drowsiness, and Brake Assist System Plus provides the car with a stop should it detect a rear-end collision. How many ICE-FIX points does the Mercedes-Benz S-Class saloon have? While it's unlikely anyone will specifically buy an S-Class for transporting children, full of sticky fingers and seemingly relentless capability to pull interior trim to bits. The outer rear seats do in truth house a few ISOFIX mounting points for child seats. Vast cabin closets 4 occupants brilliantly. Boot space is generous, ski hatch available. This isn't an auto for DIY store runs, though. This generation's S-Class has exploded slightly in all directions over its predecessor, meaning in practicality terms the Mercedes-Benz is preferable to it ever continues to be. There's more headroom for your driver, and rear seat passengers can enjoy an added 14 mm of kneeroom and 9 mm of shoulder room. That will not sound a great deal. Even so, the S-Class cabin was Alwachi of formidable dimensions. Opt for your long wheelbase car and there's acres of room to stretch back there, with all the option to increase space by moving the vacant front passenger seat forward. If being chauffeured around in a lot more space, and price is diminished amount of an issue, the Mercedes-Maybach S650 is merely palatial inside the rear. Available as both 4 and 5 seat models, we suspect the previous may prove popular. Get the job done ladder will be the more flexible layout. Still, should you do opt with the 4-seater, you'll take advantage of airline-style hidden tables, a couple heated or cooled cup holders and several covered storage. The middle rear seat is hampered by the relatively high transmission tunnel eating into footspace, but folding on the center armrest on these models also reveals a couple of cup holders and lidded storage. Just behind it lies a ski hatch, Mercedes clearly an addition to what its target customers like make use of their cars for. While the styling cleverly disguises its bulk, there's no escaping this class's size when you're wanting to negotiate it around a good multi-story park your car. It's particularly broad, but much more of a problem is its length. The short wheelbase version is finished 5 meters long. If you intend to garage your S-Class in the evening, ensure this task fits. If your allowance is sufficient, allowing you to evaluate the longest Mercedes-Maybach edition, bear in mind that its additional rear seat space extends it in order to 5,462 mm long. Regardless from the size with the car, a 4-door saloon has never been going for being the most practical of body styles, but usefully this class has a large boot opening, allowing easy access towards the 510 liters of plush light-trimmed space within. There's a nod to practicality by having an optional ski flap behind the center rear seat position, although models fitted with all the available fridge unit use a smaller boot as space is required to the heat exchange paraphernalia.